snow showers currently moving across the central UP from Munising over towards Autrain and Marquette. And then we also have some snow showers across northern portions of Delta County extending into the Nema area and Garden Peninsula. This is all a part of a clipper system that is moving on through the UP. And behind it, yes, we got some much colder air on the way, and wind chills later on tonight into early Saturday morning become very low to even dangerous. This continues through the rest of the weekend. Details on that later on in the show. My UP News starts right now.
First tonight, a teenager will be tried as an adult for the drowning death of 13-year-old Jacob Bowerman, the 25-year sentence Peyton Carno could face. Plus, the U.S. Senate unanimously approves a significant settlement for the Keweenaw Bay Indian community, including land and financial compensation if the bill is signed into law. And Keweenaw County Sheriff's Office partners with nursing students to support families this Christmas. Where to drop off your contribution. We'll have those stories and more ahead tonight on My UP News. Good evening, and thank you for joining My UP News at 6 p.m. I'm Brianna McLean. Topping the news tonight, a 16-year-old faces adult charges in the drowning death of 13-year-old Jacob Bowerman from Marinette, Wisconsin. Peyton Carno will be tried as an adult for second-degree reckless homicide in the August 20th incident at the Menominee River. Court records show Carno and a 21-year-old Tyler Birch, who is facing similar charges, threw the boy into the water despite Jacob's request to swim at a shallower pier. Carno told detectives that Jacob said he couldn't swim as they threw him in by his hands and feet. The teen faces up to 25 years in prison and a $100,000 fine if convicted. Jacob died 3 days later at St. Vincent's Hospital in Green Bay. In Chippewa County, a man faces up to 15 years in prison after a jury finds him guilty of impersonating a police officer. Kevin Wade Farnquist was convicted December 10th in the 50th Circuit Court on charges of impersonating a police officer to commit a crime. The court also tagged him as a habitual fourth offender. Prosecutors say Farnquist targeted a senior citizen last November while on parole from the Michigan Department of Corrections. He sent text messages claiming to be Under Sheriff Ryan Herring from the Chippewa County Sheriff's Office. Farnquist demanded the woman's credit card information and threatened to arrest her son and impound his car if she refused. The victim provided her credit card details before contacting the Sheriff's Department 2 days later. Farnquist is scheduled for sentencing on February 17th. Authorities warn residents that law enforcement will never request credit card information through text messages. In other news, the U.S. Senate unanimously passes legislation that would return nearly 6,000 acres of land and $34 million to the Keweenaw Bay Indian community if the bill is signed into law. The bill addresses historical wrongs dating back to the 1850s when the federal government violated treaties. Between 1893 and 1937, Michigan claimed more than 2,700 acres of reservation land through the Swampland Act. In 1852, the state also selected another 2,700 acres within the reservation boundaries to help pay for the Sault Ste. Marie Canal construction. The $34 million settlement comes from an economic analysis that determined the middle value of the stolen land. Graduation is already here, and tomorrow graduates and their families will file into the Michigan Technological University Student Development Complex. Undergrad commencement speaker Quinn Riordan will deliver an address congratulating her fellow graduates after earning a Bachelor of Science in Applied Ecology and Environmental Science. Associate Vice President of Student Affairs Kelly Raffaelli says Riordan joins 309 students, marking the end of their education at the university.
We're so proud of the students and all they have accomplished, but we do get sad to see them say goodbye. So many faculty and staff actually come to commencement to get that one last goodbye to the students before they head out and come back and visit. One of our most favorite things is when alumni return to campus for our wonderful traditions or just to stop in and say hi. We love to meet their new families and have them come back and share all of their accomplishments with us once they've graduated.
The ceremony begins at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. The university expects this ceremony will last about 2 hours, and those unable to attend in person can join the graduates and the families online. The university does provide handicap accessible parking across from the main doors and along the west side of Lot 22. Wheelchair accessible seating is also available during the ceremony. All guests and graduates should expect to have their bags checked at the door. And in Marquette, Northern Michigan University will also be holding its mid-year commencement tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. in the Superior Dome. Commencement speakers include Ryan Bond as the faculty speaker and nursing major Vincent Rodkey as the student speaker. For those who can't make it to Marquette, WNMU Public Television broadcasts the full ceremony on Channel 13. The coverage includes the procession through the alumni representative speech and reaches viewers across Upper Michigan and parts of northeastern Wisconsin. Online viewers can watch the WNMU TV live stream. Today marks the beginning of ski and snowboard season at Marquette Mountain. Much anticipated since the snow started falling a few weeks ago. Management has finally started the lifts spinning. With the snow guns going for a while now, they report the mountain's snow base ranges from 1 to 3 feet deep. While not all their runs are yet ready, it was definitely enough for the crowds to have a good time. When we stopped by, our reporter found some locals and one Floridian now going to Northern and just getting started with the sport.
Yeah, this is like my third time snowboarding ever. I love it. I busted my butt pretty hard, but it's really fun.
I am so excited for this. We got 2 runs open right now. It's going to be the best season we've had.
It's snowing. We'll get new snow. It's going great.
It's better than last season, that's for sure.
Yeah. Early start. We're going to be completely fine this year. No worries at all.
Through the weekend, mountain management says more runs are likely to open up. You can find a link to their current trail conditions over on our website, myupnow.com. The Keweenaw County Sheriff's Office arrived in Hancock this morning to meet with the Copper Country ISD CTE's nursing students. The class recently collected art supplies to support the Sheriff's Office's No Kids Without a Christmas campaign. The students also took the chance to learn about the work of first responders. The Keweenaw County Undersheriff says it's inspiring to see students help their community.
It's great. They are doing the leadership here at the CTE, and you have students from all different schools. It's great that they can get together, and we have right around 27 families this year. We do expect to have some more families coming in. It really helps the families at this time of year.
The Keweenaw County Sheriff, No Kids Without a Christmas, works with similar programs in the region to make sure families in need can have a joyful holiday morning. Under Sheriff Matilla says those interested in supporting the program can drop off donations to the Keweenaw County Sheriff's Office in Eagle River. She adds cash donations become very important the closer we get to Christmas. That's because the department can go out and purchase specific items the program needs to fill out bags of presents. We're just getting started on My UP News at 6 p.m. Coming up next in sports, the Northern Michigan hockey team returns home this weekend with momentum as they take on St. Thomas. That story and much more next.
You're watching My UP News with Brianna McLean.
Welcome to MyUP Sports. I'm Jake Durant. Following a weekend of rest, the Michigan Tech hockey team is back in action south of the Mackinac Bridge this weekend, taking on Ferris State. The Huskies have endured a tough part of their schedule recently, losing twice to number 14 Minnesota State in November, then most recently losing twice to St. Thomas, once in regulation and the other in a shootout. Sitting at 5-3-2 in conference play, they have a chance to regain their footing against Ferris State, that sits at 4-12 overall on the year. It's Tech's final series of the year before they head to Grand Rapids December 28th for the Great Lakes Invitational. Currently sitting 5th in the crowded CCHA standings, it's a chance for the Huskies to bolster their positioning as they look ahead to the second half of the season.
You can see the log jam at the top of the thing. We're fighting for home ice. We're fighting for our lives. There's everything to play for. We've got to get back in there. We've played well and maybe haven't got some results lately, but it's everything, and you can only get 3 points at a time, but make no bones about it how important it is and how important the second half is to continue to put ourselves in the best spot. So yeah, it's real important.
Game 1 between the Huskies and Bulldogs is set to start tonight at 7:07 Eastern. Game 2 will start at 6:07 Eastern on Saturday. After earning its first win of the season and claiming 4 of a possible 6 points over the weekend at Bowling Green, the Wildcat hockey team brings momentum back home, welcoming the St. Thomas Tommies for the final series of 2025. The Wildcats are coming off a weekend split that saw the Cats defeat the Falcons on Friday before falling in overtime on Saturday. Caden Galt earned CCHA Forward of the Week honors after scoring a league-high 3 goals over the weekend. Special teams had been a point of emphasis for the team after allowing 9 power play goals against in the 4 games leading up to the Bowling Green series. NMU held the Falcons, one of the nation's top special teams unit, which had scored 9 power play goals in 7 games leading up to the series, to 0-8 on the weekend. Head coach Dave Shayak says Friday's performance can be used as a blueprint to reach their ultimate goal of making the playoffs, with the Cats just 4 points out of the 8th spot in the conference standings.
I think a lot of people got to realize it's a process to get there. You're not going to have overnight success with kind of rebuilding. It is a rebuild, and we started from scratch last year. That takes time, and you know, with this portal, the landscape of college hockey, it's hard to build. It takes longer to build, and so for us, the process is important. Our habits are important on a daily basis, and obviously getting healthy is a big thing for us. And the wins will come. And you saw our habits have been good. We've been in a lot of games. We've just been a goal short or a save short to win some of these games to close them out.
Game 1 between NMU and St. Thomas is set to start tonight inside the Barrie Events Center at 7:07. We're going to have action from that one tonight on MyUP Sports at 11. Now to the stunning case against former Michigan football coach Sharon Moore. Today, Moore made his first court appearance. We now know the charges he's facing. ABC's Olivia Rubin reports prosecutors laying out alarming accusations about what led to Moore's arrest.
Today, the former University of Michigan football coach who was fired and arrested, now facing multiple charges, virtually appearing in court for the first time as stunning details emerge. A criminal complaint charging Sharon Moore with felony home invasion and 2 misdemeanors of stalking and breaking and entering.
There's a male at the location and the house attacking her. The state's been stalking her for months.
According to the prosecution, Moore and the victim had an intimate relationship for a number of years, claiming Moore had been contacting the victim after she broke up with him this past Monday, then allegedly showing up at her apartment Wednesday.
Barged his way into that apartment, immediately then proceeded to a kitchen drawer, grabbed several butter knives and a pair of kitchen scissors, and began to threaten his own life. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to make you watch. My blood is on your hands.
Moore was fired this week after the school said in a statement that, quote, credible evidence was found that Coach Moore engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Moore's defense telling the court the 39-year-old has no criminal history and poses no threat to the public. The judge ordering Moore to be released on $25,000 bond. In court, Moore barely speaking.
You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
But acknowledging the conditions of his bond.
You heard that there was a condition of bond for him to have mental health counseling, and we expect that too. Okay?
Moore will also be under court-ordered GPS monitoring and has been told not to leave the state. He has not yet entered a plea. His next court hearing set for January. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, New York.
Brianna, back over to you.
All right, thank you, Jake. More My UP News is on the way. Coming up later in the show, a Marquette nonprofit creates new ways for people in recovery to connect and have fun without substances. And up next in My UP weather, dangerous wind chills arrived tonight with temperatures plunging well below zero. Meteorologist Tom Kippen has your weekend weather outlook.
Yeah, Brianna, find the layers for this weekend, especially tonight into early Saturday morning when we are expecting very low to even dangerous wind chills. Your weather forecast after the break.
My UP Weather is sponsored by Aspirus Health.
And welcome back. It's time for My UP weather with meteorologist Tom Kippen.
Temperatures are dropping decently across the UP, and as we go to our current temperatures outside, you can see that we do have temperatures. Look at Duluth, Minnesota, Brianna, already down to 3 degrees, and we got temperatures already down to 12 for Ironwood. And we also have temperatures that are dropping across the northwoods of Wisconsin and also into the central UP, where we do have temperatures around 21 degrees at Marquette, Sawyer, Gwinn. But you factor in the wind chills. Look at the wind chills as you go west. You got wind chills already down to 16 below zero for Duluth, 5 below zero for Ironwood, and we got single-digit wind chills, Marquette, Sawyer, Gwinn, westward, and these cold wind chills will be heading in our direction across the rest of the UP as we go through the rest of the evening. As we take a look at my UP weather radar, we do have some snow that is moving through the UP currently, and this snow is moving on off towards the east. Behind this snow, that's where the colder air is following in behind it, and this much colder air is coming in from Canada. As we look at the winter weather advisory, this is going to run through Saturday morning across the far western UP for Ontonagon County and across the Keweenaw Peninsula. And then as we head into the snow belts east of Marquette. We have this winter weather advisory. That's going to run through Saturday evening. Truth be told, I do think these winter weather advisories, especially the western one, will be extended into Saturday evening, perhaps even Sunday morning. And then we do have a cold weather advisory that is in effect here. That is going to run in through 9 a.m. Central Time for Iron and Gogebic counties. And this is going to mean that we could see some wind chills as low as 29 below zero, if not colder, to around 30 below zero. Future track temperatures, you can see temperatures are going to be turning very cold across the interior west tonight, with temperatures going below zero, single digits elsewhere. And then tomorrow, temperatures are not going far. You can see temperatures for highs for most UP locations, single digits to around 10 above. Some interior west locations just struggling to get above zero. Wind chills tonight, that's the big thing. We're looking at very low to dangerous wind chills tonight, especially along the Michigan-Wisconsin border. And this is where we are expecting wind chills along the Michigan-Wisconsin border anywhere between 20 and 30 below zero. So if you do have to be outside for any length of time tonight, make sure you're dressed warm and in layers. And if you do have any farm animals or pets, make sure they got somewhere warm to go as well. And then little improvement in the wind chills as we head into your Saturday afternoon. As for snow amounts, I'm just going to let this run through as we go through the rest of the weekend, and you can see the numbers will be adding on up in the far western UP, Keweenaw Peninsula, and in the snow belts east of Marquette. Be aware, with this cold air mass in place, this type of lake effect snow will be visibility reducing snow. So if you do have any travel plans around those parts of the UP, be prepared for sudden visibility reduction if you're going to be traveling in any parts of these UP locations. Cold in Marquette for Saturday, 7-18 Saturday, and then we got a thaw on the way as we head into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with high temperatures right around the freezing mark, if not slightly above. Munising, lake effect snow for Saturday, 10 degrees above zero, 11 for Newberry, single digits to around 10 above along the Lake Michigan shoreline on Saturday. And then for Houghton and the Keweenaw Peninsula, lake effect snow and cold temperatures Saturday, 7, that's it, and then 3, that's it for a daytime high for Iron Mountain and along the Michigan-Wisconsin border. Brianna, back over to you.
In an effort to create more substance-free events in Marquette County, Superior Connections, a nonprofit whose mission is to cultivate a culture of long-term recovery, has their Recovery Connections through bowling event this Sunday at Superior Lanes in Marquette. Recovery Connections through bowling is from 3 to 6 p.m. on Sunday. Peer recovery coaches will be on site, and a meal will also be provided. To learn more about their work in the community, visit superiorconnectionsrco.org. And stay with us. We'll be back after this break.
And we are going to be seeing lake effect snow across the UP this weekend, including here in the Houghton, Hancock, Calumet areas. But it's going to be cold here as well, especially in the interior west for Iron Mountain. 7 for your Saturday, 3. That's it for Iron Mountain. And I want to show you as we get to Tuesday and Wednesday, and this is going to be for the rest of the UP as well. We do have a thaw on the way, 30s by Tuesday. Brianna, back over to you.
All right, thank you, Tom. And thank you for watching My UP News at 6 p.m. If you're joining us in WVUP, World News Tonight is next. If you're watching on WJMN, stay with us. Another half hour of local news is coming up next. Good evening, and thank you for joining My UP News at 6:30. I'm Brianna McLean. The holiday season is one of the most dangerous times for impaired driving crashes in Michigan. Beginning today, police agencies statewide will run the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign through January 1st with zero tolerance for impaired driving. Between 2020 and 2024, 19 people died in holiday-related crashes in Michigan, with nearly half involving alcohol or drug impairment. In 2024, over 27% of fatal crashes involved alcohol and about 24% involved drugs. The Michigan State Police and local law enforcement are increasing patrols to catch impaired drivers. Driving with a blood alcohol concentration of 0.08 or higher is illegal, but drivers can be arrested at any level if impaired. The goal is to reduce deaths and injuries caused by impaired driving. Everyone is urged to celebrate responsibly and plan for a sober ride home. Today marks the beginning of ski and snowboard season at Marquette Mountain. Much anticipated since the snow started falling a few weeks ago, management has finally started the lift spinning. With the snow guns going for a while now, they report the mountain snow base ranges from 1 to 3 feet. While not all their runs are yet ready, it was definitely enough for the crowds to have a good time. When we stopped by, our reporter found some locals and one Floridian now going to Northern and just getting started with the sport.
Yeah, this is like my 3rd time snowboarding ever. I love it. I busted my butt pretty hard, you know, but it's really fun.
I am so excited for this. We got 2 runs open right now. It's going to be the best season we've had.
It's snowing. We'll get new snow. It's going great.
It's better than last season, that's for sure.
Yeah. Early start. We're going to be completely fine this year. No worries at all.
Through the weekend, Mountain Management says more runs are likely to open up. You can find a link to their current trail conditions over on our website, myupnow.com. The Ishpeming and Marquette Salvation Army locations, with help from the Marine Corps League Lake Superior Detachment, packed up some of their toys for Tots donations to distribute to families in need this holiday season. Toy collections have been happening since October 1st, and over 100 businesses throughout the county had set up donation boxes. Tracy Tippett, the Toys for Tots coordinator of Marquette County, shares that the toys loaded up today were roughly 1/3 of the donations they've received.
One important thing to know that all of us that do this from our Marine Corps League detachment, we are all volunteers. We are not paid for anything. And, you know, it's just something we feel is important for us to do for Marquette County and to help the families in need and to show that the kids that, you know, we do care, that somebody cares about them, and to have a little bit of Christmas on the weekends. All of the Marquette County donations we received, all the monetary donations, they stay in Marquette County. And then when I go shopping, I shop locally. So it's that pay it forward event we do here.
If you haven't had a chance to donate yet, there are still 3 businesses that are collecting toys, which include Ace Hardware in Ishpeming, along with Menards and Texas Roadhouse in Marquette Township.